Okay, today we're learning Gemara about Metzia, Daf Peivov Amud Aleph. Amar Rav Kana. Rav Kana says, Ishtoil Rav Chamo bar Brate, the Chamo or the Chasa. There's two versions of here. So Rav Kana says, told me Rav Chamo, the son of the daughter of Chamo or Chasa. Rabba bar Nachmani, that's the famous Rabba they used to learn with Rabbi Yosef, and he used to be the Rebbe of Abai Barova. Rabba bar Nachmani. Agav Shmode noch nafshe, because of Shmad, meaning there was a decree against him. Because of that, he died. Now the Gemara going to that story, how there was the Ptira, the passing of Rabba bar Nachmani. Acholu be Kurzo be Malka. They said Lashon Hara about him by the king. What kind of Lashon Hara they brought about Rabba Nachmani? Omru ikechad gavro b'Yehuda. There's one Jewish man among the Jews. The kamavatel treser alfe gavro mi-Yisrael. He's taking away from the society 12,000 Jews. Yarcha b'kaito v'yarcha b'sitva. 1 month in the summertime, 1 month before the winter time. He's taking them, meaning he's giving droshes, everybody coming to listen to him. And Mimele, they're getting away, Mikrago, the Malko. The king used to send shluchim to people's homes to collect taxes. And 12,000 people missing, they're not home. Because they're all, where they went away, they went to Rabbah to listen to his shiurim. A month, like I said, during winter, during summer. So twice a year, each time a month, and the king, they cannot find them. And people go every month when they go to this house. It's a big loss to the king. So the king decided to send somebody after him and to arrest him. Shadru Pristka de Malka Abasa. They send an agent from the government to go after Rabba bar Nachmani. V'lo Ashkeche. He couldn't find him. Orak v'ozil. Rabbi realized that after him, he started running away. Mipimpudisa, Akra, there where he was a Rebbe, the yeshiva of Rabbi was in Pumbedisa. He went from Pumbedisa Akra, Me'akra, La'agma, from there's different places. So Me'agma, L'shichin, U'meshichin, L'tzrifa, Mitzrifa, L'endamia. So he's going from one place, running away from the agent. The government agent should not get him and arrest him. In the end, he went went back. He made a whole circle and went from that place, the last place, he went back to his own city, Pumbedisa. Sometimes the best place to hide is in your own city. The Quran says, Pumbedisa Ashkechei. Over there, the agent found him, was going after him from one place to another. He found him in Pumbedisa. What happened over here? How did he find him? The Gemara says the story. Ikla Pristka de Malka lahu ushpiza de Rabba. Yet at this point, the agent of the government did not know that he's in the same hotel, the same place, the same inn with Rabbi. They were in the same inn. Krivu take gabe, when they brought the table, the front, those days they used to, we've seen Gemara many times, they used to serve people in the inns with the small tables. They brought the front of them, portable tables. They brought the table in front of him, in front of this government agent. Vashkua trei. They gave him 2 cups of beverages. That was a wine or it was a beer. They gave him 2 cups. Then they took away the table away from him after giving him only two cups. His face turned backwards, meaning those days there were a big chashash for such a kishuf that works through if you eat pears. 2 apples, 2 eggs, 2 cups of wine or water. It was such a kishuf that works on pairs. And this man, they did not know, they didn't do it purposely. They gave it to him, there's 2 cups. So he didn't drink the 3rd cup. The kishuf worked on him. Somebody probably made a kishuf on him, and his face turned backwards. So he was in bad shape. Omrule man avidle. Gavro, the Malkahu, they got scared, the innkeepers. What are we going to do with this man? He's the agent of the government. They're going to go after us. They're going to think we did something to him. So what are we going to do with him? They got scared. Amar Lahu, Rabbi that was there, he wanted to help them. He told them, Krivu tako lekama, bring back the table to him. V'ashkuya chat kasa, give him another cup. Melas won't be pairs, it's going to be already 3 cups. V'daliu l'taka mekama, then take away the table from him. This way he doesn't drink the fourth, because anytime it's pairs, the kishuv could work, and this way he'll become better. And that's what they did. And he's going to be okay, he told them. That's what they did to him, and he got healed. His face turned back to the right place, the head. Now he's good. The man, the agent said, Meida Yadana the Gavar the Gabeina Hochu. He says, I know the man I'm looking for is in this inn. Because he knew the Rabbi Nachmani was a great scholar, a great man. He knew the only one could help him like this. He says, it's such a only big man like him. He's probably here, he said. He's running away from me. He's the one told him the trick how to help me. Bochish abatre v'ashkeche. They didn't want to tell him where he is. But he looked for him over there. He searched for him over there in that inn, and he found Rabba. Omar, and he said, Ozil no meho. He says, I'm going to go over here. He saw you helped me really. I mean, it doesn't say all this in the go, but that's probably what took place over there. He told us, you helped me. You saved my life. I was in bad shape. You saved me. I'm going to go away from here. He says, if they're going to kill me, he says, they used to speak in the Aramaic in the third, like a third party. If they kill him, meaning they're going to kill him himself, he says, Lo megalin. If they're going to just kill me, I'm not going to tell where you are. Meaning he was willing to die for the sake of Rabbah, this agent. If they're going to torture me, he says, I don't promise I'm not going to tell them. If they're going to torture me, he said, I will probably tell them where you are. So meaning, the way the Meforshim explained, he wanted to tell them, so you better take off. Don't like stay here, because I'm not going to tell them, but if they kill me, I won't tell them. And if they're going to torture me, I might tell them. Maybe I won't be able to withstand this torture. But basically, he's hinting to him, take off, go somewhere else. Meanwhile, Assyria Lakame, they found him anyway. Without this agent, they probably had other people looking for him, and it was in Pumbedisa. They found him over there. Assyria Lakame, they brought him, they took him, they put him in a place where they could lock him up. They brought him to the room, and they locked the room when Rabbah is inside. They got Rabbi Bar Nachmani, they got him, they got who they want. Bo Rachame, Rabbi Nachmani prayed to Hashem, please get me out of this jail. The Gemara says, Prak Ashisa, the wall broke, that when with his prayer, and he took off. Rabbi Nachmani took off. Orak ve'ozal la'agma. He went, it was in front of the swamp, la'agam. Have a Yosef Agirda the Dikula. He was sitting, there was a date tree that was cut off already, but it was a nice place to sit on. He decided he's going to sit over there, look at God, and learn a quiet place in front of the swamp, in front of the river. He's going to sit and learn, and he was learning. He says, and you heard, you heard how in Shemayim there's an argument, a halachic argument. Some explain that was in a dream. Some explain the Ben Ish Chai in Ben Yoyada. He explained that he was reaching very high levels of ruchnius, meaning he almost has a pashtus, a gashmius. That's how you reach nevuah, ruach hakodesh. And he was seeing visions, how things going already. When you're more spiritual, you're less materialistic, and that's in that place. He was by himself. He was like meditating, and he went to that level, and he saw what they're learning in Shemayim, and what they were learning there. Im beheres kodemes l'seir lovan tome. Im seir lovan kodemes l'beheres tome. It's halacha. If you have a leprosy, a tsaras of the skin, and if the beheres, the skin, became white. Beheres is one of the colors of white. There's few colors of one of them is beheres. In beheres kademes laser lovan, meaning you had a black hair on your skin, and then you got, first of all, the skin turned white, and then the hair turned white. So the skin turned white first. That's tuma. That's simon of tuma. And all these halachas Basically, all halachos of tumas v'taharis, it's not logical, and that's how Hashem set the rules. Why? What? We don't know. But again, if the white skin became white first, and then the black hair turned white, then it's a simon of tuma, tzaras. It's tuma, the man. The or man or woman, the seir lovam koidem lebeheres toer. But if it's turned white hair, the hair turned white before the skin, and then the skin turned white later after the hair turned white, it's not simon tuma. The person is toer. Now, what happened if it's a suffix? You come in front of the kohen, and we're not sure what was turning white first, the skin or the hair. Again, if the skin first, then the hair, it's tama. If the hair first and then the skin, it's toer. It's not. So what's going to be if it's a suffix? You know who's arguing in Shemaim on this? HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Pamalia Shalmaila, and all the yeshiva of up there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, toher. This is, if it's suffix, it's a pure. It's not tama. If you're not sure what's happened first. The whole yeshiva Shalmaila sitting and learning with HaKadosh Baruch Hu Torah, they said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we disagree with you. They told them it's Tomeh. Now, we already explained this many times, how you could argue with the lawmaker. God made the law. God made the halachas. He's telling you the halacha. Are you arguing with him? What you arguing with him? He's the lawmaker. He knows what he said. Pshat is, but after Hashem gave us the Torah lo b'shamayim. Hashem says, I know what I meant. I know what I'm telling you now. I'm learning with you now the way you have to learn Torah, and you learn with Neshama that were in this world already. They went up there. They continue to learn over there according to the rules and regulations. The way I give the Torah, there's rules and regulations. How you learn. You don't go by prophecy, nevuah, ruach hakodesh. That's not how you learn Torah. You learn Torah the way the rules and regulations I give it to you, and according to the rules and regulations, the way the Torah given to us. Hashem says the way I learn this. It looks to me, Hashem says, Torah. They say, no, the way we will learn this, according to your rules and regulations, it's Tameh. So, they're arguing, Amre man noichach. Who's going to decide this argument? Who's right over here, God or us? The Gemara says, Noichach Rabba bar Nachmani. He heard in the Meftit the Rakia, the Yeshiva Shalmaila, they said, we're going to go ask Rabba bar Nachmani. Why him? The Omar Rabba Nachmani already said once, Ani Yochid ben the Goyim, Ani Yochid ba'olas. In his generation, Rabba says, I'm the biggest expert in the Goyim, in the leprosy, and Aholos, the none of Tumah Vatara that's in a tent. It's a very, very complicated sugiyas over there, and Rabba says he's the biggest expert. So they're going to go to the biggest expert in this world. Okay. Shadru Shaliach Basra. They send a Shaliach from Shemaim now. Everybody going after Rabbi. The government from this side, from Shemaim, they're going after him to bring him over there. He should say the Psak Halacha. He says, basically, they wanted to take his neshama up there already, and he should be there already. They're going to take the neshama out, the guy going to die. So they send the Malach HaMoves, he's the one bringing the neshamas up there. He couldn't touch him. Why? He was not stopping from learning. When a person learns, Malach HaMoves cannot touch him. He was protected. Okay, before we go next, why? Then the Malach made the commotions as usual we see in the different Gemaras, and he was able to distract him and took his neshama. Before we go to that Gemara a second, I want to just explain. They want to know, they're doing a big favor to Rabbi Nachman. He's the biggest expert, but why are you killing him? Okay, you just ask him the way he's here. You want to take him over the meaning they want to bring him there, and that's it. He's not going to be living in this world. So why he deserve that? Because he's a big expert. You have to die. It doesn't look like it's fair. What's going on over here? So Be'emen says is like this. Really, Rabbi Bar Nachmani, you know how old he was, this big expert, which is that story is going to die now. He was Sachakol, 40-year-old. He's a young man. 40. He's a 40-year-old. However, he was Ma'arich Yamin. He had a long life. Long or short life, it's all relative. It depends. So the Gemara in the Rosh Hashanah says the Rabbi and his Talmud Abaye, they were all Kehanim from the best Eli, in Ayin, with the Eli, time of before Shmuel Hanovi. And the Bnei Eli, when they sinned to Hashem, there was a curse, and then with the Shvuah, it's the biggest curse, the biggest decree with the Shvuah. It's very difficult to undo it, that they're going to die young. The whole family of Beth Eli, the man died approximately at the age of 18. So according to this, we're going to see why soon. Rabbi was Ma'arich Yomim, 22 years longer he lived than average life of his family. So he was Ma'arich Yomim. In which schus, the Gemara says over there, that he lived to 40 and Abai lived till 60. The Gemara says such a decree you cannot nullify with a prayer even. Which the decree with an oath, with a shavua. But the Gemara says, "Bezevach eno mischaper, aber Torah u'gmilus chasodim mischaper." Torah, the Rabbi had a lot of Torah in him. He was able to nullify the decree for 22 years. Abai had more Torah and gmilus chasodim. He was also in helping people with gmilus chasodim. He lived till 60. Even the both had both, but Rabbi was mainly in Torah. Abai was in both Torah and Gemulus Chasodim. In any case, so according to this, his time came to die anyway. It's not a pshat they took him now because they have a shaila in Rakia. So why came in such? Why they take him then like this? Then just take him. If time comes the time, just take him. There's another medrash. The medrash says, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the way he takes the tzaddikim, it's different the way he takes an average person. Average will comes a time a person goes. Tzaddikim, Hashem takes them from the world with their consent. There's a lot of stories. That's one of them. He makes them to want to go up. In this story, when he was learning already Torah, he was seeing what's going on in Pamala Shalmalam, Sivta Derekia, his neshama already felt connected there. It's like you feel gishmak over there, a spiritual pleasure over there, to learn with them, to connect them. Hashem did the whole thing in order to bring him there with his consent. So not only that the time came, but it's have to be. So from one hand, he sees, we're going to see this, his consent. On one hand, they're chasing him over the government. On the other hand, he sees he needed over there, so he decided this is better to go to Hashem rather to go be tortured by the government. So that's what took place over here. Again, the time for the Rabbi came. He already lived his life an extra 22 years. But then the way it's happened, the way it's happened. So now the Gemara goes, so what happened? How the Malach HaMavis was able to take him. Ad hochi noshiv ziko v'avush ben Ekanya, was a big storm, big wind, and he heard by the swamp over there the reeds making a lot of commotion, making a lot of commotion. So he thought, Savar Gunda de Paroshahu. This is the coming over here, the army or the policemen of the government to arrest me. So Omar, so he said, Tenach nafshada gavre v'lo yimoser b'yada de malchus. He said, you know what? I rather go to Hashem and be given to the. Again, he went somewhat in a certain consent that he rather go to Hashem and die b'menucha over here in a nice way rather than be tortured with the government. But the whole thing again, Hashem played in such a way that he comes over here with this consent. Kava kanaycha nafshe, before he just died, Omar, meanwhile, he's in the middle of this learning debate. Who's right, God or Pamale Shalmaila? God says it's Toher, they say it's Tomeh. So he told him, Toher. He said, God is right, it's pure. There's such a simon when we have a suffix, we're not sure what came first. A person is not Tomeh with Tzaras, he's Toher, it's pure. Yotzo Baskol v'omro Ashrech Rabban Nachmani. Heavenly sound came out, says, fortunate you are, Rabban Nachmani, shegufcha toher, your body is pure, v'yotzo nishmoscha betoher. And your neshama also came out with the word toher. He said twice toher. Again, it's correspond. The body was pure, and the neshama came out by the word toher. Nofal piskam berekia befum bedisa. Meanwhile, he's in a swamp. He's already in Olam Hamas. The neshama, the body is laying over there. How people are going to know what's going on with him over here? They don't even know where he is. He took off. He was running away from the government. The Gemara says, Nofal piskam berekia befum bedisa. Fell a note from heaven in Pumbedisa, where he was a Rosh Yeshiva. So the Maharal said it wasn't a real. The Gemara says many times, but such a thing that fell from heaven a note, like a written note. The Maharal said it was a message. So came a message from Shamayim in their mind. They should know, like a message. It's like a note, yeah. The Rabbi Nachmani is bakesh b'yeshiva shel Maila. Rabbi Nachmani, they took him the yeshiva shel Maila. He passed away. Novku Abaye b'chulu rabbonon li'isukibes. Abaye and all the rabbonim came out, all the chachamim, to try to find him. Let's find him. We have to bring him to Kavurim. They didn't know where is he. Where are we going to find him? Oslo la'agma. They went to the swamp, and it says over there, Chazu tzipore de metalale v'kayome. They saw birds. They're making a shade, yeah, and they're like not moving. Usually birds flying, and they're in one place sitting and making a shade. So they said, Amre Shmami Nehosamu, they probably Mena Shamayim, Ashgacha Pro, they're doing that in order to make a shade on him. The body should not smell and rot. So they went over there and they found him over there. So the Gemara says after the Gemara don't say with the buried, but obviously they buried him. Then Sabdua Tlosa Yoma Betlosa Lelvosa. They made a eulogy over Rabbi Nachmani 3 days and 3 nights. Noval Piska Kola Poirish Ye Benidu. Again, came a note or a message to them. If anybody goes away, not going to continue to do this 7 days, the hesped to be there by him, he's going to be in Nidui. He's going to put him in Cherem. Savdu Shiva Yamas. And decided we have to make a hesped for 7 days of here. Nofal Piska Lechulu V'Teichem L'Sholem. And the note says, go home in peace. The Gemara says, Ahu Yoima, that day, the Nach Nafsha, the day that he passed away, Dalia Za'afa V'Dare Lauto Kiroch V'Galam Me'agisa, the Nar Papa V'Shot B'Hach Gisa. That day, there was a man riding Tayo B'Derech Klal, it's a Ishmaeli that was riding his camel, and there was such a storm, he says, the wind picked up the man with a camel from one side of the river, Nar Papa, River Papa, to the other side. So he says he couldn't understand. Omar Mai Hai says, what's going on over here? What was such a storm that he never said such a thing, that he was not picked up with his camel, put from one side to another. Omarullah, they told him, Nach Nafshed Rabbar Nachmani. He passed away. So he said like this Ishmaeli prayed to Hashem, Omar Lefanam, Ribono Shel Olam, Kula Alma Didoch, the whole world is yours. Rabbar Nachmani Didoch. Rabbar Nachmani is also yours. At the Rabbi Rabbi Didoch. You love Rabbi, Rabbi loves you, he says. So Amaika Macharvad Lela Alma. Why you want to destroy the world? Yeah. So he says Noch Zafa. Then the river then came down. So that's we see over here the story of the Rabbi Nachmani, this great man. He lived Tzach 4 years, and he was the expert of Taharas and Ahalas.
I don't understand.